Is Event 2030 real? Is this the new pandemic? Do we need to awaken? Of course we need to awaken now. Do you even need me to finish the sentence? There have been huge power outages all over Europe. This seems suspicious. Is it net zero countries? Is it countries that are signed up to bureaucratic edicts related to climate change that grant extraneous entities and bodies extraordinary power over a nation when they're not part of that nation, when they don't live there, when they don't pay taxes there? Interesting. Let's jump into it. Are these European blackouts a trailer for a global event where some kind of solar flare or cyber attack will be used in order to legitimize further control over ordinary citizens, asking us once again to exchange freedom for safety? Give up your guns, you'll be more safe. Take this medicine, you'll be more safe. Get in your house, you'll be more safe. Don't trust the information you get on the internet, you'll be more safe. Do you see the theme? Are you ready to awaken from their dream? Are you willing to surrender to the one true light? Let me know in the comments and chat what you think about that, because you're going to need to get your light from somewhere, particularly if you're in Spain, because you ain't getting it from the national grid, baby, because they can't run that shit no more.
Described as the biggest power outage in Europe in modern times, the Madrid metro brought to a standstill.
Sometimes I think Australian women make things a little bit too sexy when they're doing the news. Australians talk about power outages in a way that's nasal and throaty and a bit too sexy.
Travellers evacuated through tunnels, others stranded between destinations en route to nowhere.
Route to nowhere? What's this crazy poem? In Madrid, people are on a route to nowhere. They're in a Catalan catacomb, a limitless spiral into nothingness. Like the poetry of Lorca, it is soaked in blood and in confusion. Like the writing of Cervantes, they are tilting at windmills. Spain is going nowhere. I love Spain. You been to Spain? Spanish people, they're amazing. They're beautiful, sexy, powerful, flamenco dancing, football playing, magnificent, sultry, wondrous people. A beautiful fusion of the Moorish culture that came at them pretty hard and beautiful Catholicism. What a land of glory. How are they doing over there in Spain now they've been subjugated by globalism? How your electricity doing?
The Madrid Open broadcasting the moment power went down during a post-match interview with Coco Gauff.
Not get a lot of sleep.
You know what that makes me feel like? You know when we were seeing athletes falling over all the time and they just went, athletes have always fallen over all the time. You idiots. Don't you remember how athletes are always having heart attacks? You remember, don't you? You remember young people have heart attacks all the time. You know, they just sort of psyoped us into believing that it was normal that people just kept dropping dead. And like footballers gathering round one of their fallen teammates. This is weird. People literally collapsing and going unconscious on the news. When I see that mic cut out, let me know what you think in the comments and chat. Do you see that as we're being groomed, aren't we? They're getting us ready for the next event. They're getting us ready for cyber attacks and introductions. S. Martin, Dr. Nefario. I'm telling you, Gru, they're going to block out the sun, Gru. Gru, we got to do something about it. Quick, smart.
The tournament suspended as spectators stumbled their way out in the dark. Blacked out traffic lights caused chaos on roads. Tourists left with no access to money or internet.
Make us all dependent on cryptocurrencies and the internet, and then restrict access to cryptocurrencies and the internet. That would work, I suppose. And if everyone was digitally registered and everyone could be criminalised at the drop of a hat or the flick of a switch, oh, what a wonderful world it would be.
We're going to try and see if we can use a card in this shop here, but that doesn't look like it's likely, so we're probably just going to head down to the beach.
Flights were grounded, leaving passengers with nowhere to go.
There were hundreds of people just left out on the hot pavement with the airport doors closed.
The blackout prompting panic buying as authorities raced to talk down sabotage.
I love that. We're amazing, aren't we, human beings? The electricity ain't working. Get down to the supermarket and buy toilet roll immediately, fucking hell! Ah! Keep cool. It used to be the rhetoric of the extreme left, in particular the anarchists. I don't know where you want to put them on a spectrum of left versus right, because those categories don't make much sense anymore. But the anarchists say this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments and chat. You are being deskilled. You have forgotten how to grow food, how to make food, how to repair vehicles yourself, even a lawnmower. You don't know how to hunt, kill, skin an animal. You don't know how to look after yourself, protect yourself, defend yourself. You have become like an incompetent blob, like larvae. That's where they want you. You're dependent on your phone. You know, man, you best make yourself competent. You best make yourself able to feed yourself. The energy of Jordan Peterson, when it first entered the culture, had this value perhaps above all else. Let me know if you agree with this in the comments and chat. Make yourself competent. Don't let them turn you into some docile little slob, sitting there simpering and tossing off all the time, unable to get pleasure from interaction, unable to get joy from nature. They have coached us, conditioned us, and now corralled us into a position where we can't look after ourselves. Let me know in the comments and chat if you can look after yourself, if you know how to survive, if you know how to stay alive, if you know how to hunt, handle a gun, how to fish, how to fight, how to make food, if you are ready to go. Let me know, particularly if you're in the UK, if your spirit hasn't been broken, if you're ready, if you stand ready to fight, or you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, I can't find my Oyster card, oh, this is a perishing mess, this is a fine mess I got myself into for half a sixpence. Have they neutered you? Have they broken you? Have they shackled you? How have their dreams and their promises and their false idols worked out for you? How is their pornography working for you? How is their sugar and their screens working for you? How are their fake dreams and ice creams working for you? Do you want something better? Are you ready yet? Are you ready to wake up yet? Or are you going to let them usher you all the way to the boneyard and then just maybe over your shoulder as the coffin lid gently closes, say, I tried my best. But unfortunately, I was worshipping globalist liars. Get woke. Get awake. Truly awoken. Not to some set of principles dictated by globalists who want us all divided and distracted, baby. As we peel back the layers of our foreskin, news media, like a modern illusion, corporate narratives, media manipulation, foreskin, governments playing God, we come to a simple realization. Everything they sell you is designed to keep you weak. Your food, your news, your medicine, your coffee, everything. So what happens when you start asking questions? When you say, actually, no, I won't start my day with a chemical cocktail brewed by the same boardroom that funds censorship and pharma ads, you look elsewhere. You find something different, like 1775's Rejuvenate coffee, not made in a lab, not cooked up by an algorithm, but roasted weekly in Miami with real beans, real principles, and CA-AKG, a compound studied for its ability to support energy, recovery, and healthy aging at the cellular level. Some studies even suggest it could reverse biological age. It's single origin, mold-free, toxin-free, and woke-free, made by people who actually believe in things like bodily sovereignty, free speech, and the radical idea that your coffee shouldn't come with a lecture. Go to 1775coffee.com, use the code BRAND, and get 15% off. Rejuvenate your body, resist the machines, and wake up on your terms. 1775. Get younger now, baby.
Now they don't have already identified the cause, but there are no evidence that was any cyber attack.
Instead, suggesting an atmospheric phenomenon caused oscillation or bounce in the high-voltage cables. Some experts say it's an over-reliance on renewables like wind and solar that spectacularly left millions in the lurch. In London, Jacqueline Robson, 7...
In London, being Australian, Jacqueline Robson, what's it to do with those windmills? They don't get pulled into another side of the political argument. Oh, see, I told you, fossil fuels and oil and that. They're not a football team. They're not a basketball team. Fossil fuels, oil and that. Windmills. They're just utility. They're not gods. They may come from God, the energy of the wind, the energy of the soil, the energy buried deep in the past. All of these things may be holy and divine if you're connected to holiness and divinity, but if you worship them, then you're looking in the wrong direction. Panic in the streets of London. Panic in the streets of Portugal. You remember, don't you, the way that it was during the pandemic when you had to queue up like an obedient little prisoner outside the supermarket? Are we 6 feet apart? I hope this ain't just some made up bullshit. I hope everyone's going to be wearing a mask. I hope it's not some made up bullshit. Well, it's happening again. It's happening again. The supermarket shelves in Portugal are bare.
So here's the water aisle. Bro, it's like a apocalyptic, completely empty. All the water is gone. Well, not all. There's still a few there, but almost everything's gone. So, and that's Portugal. No water.
Never mind learn a code, learn a hunt, and learn a fight, because you are gonna need it, baby. This could be because of over-reliance on renewables. That's certainly one perspective. Maybe that was part of the plan all along. Spain's grid ran entirely on renewable energy for the first time on April the 16th, with wind, solar and hydro meeting all peninsular electricity demand during a weekday. 5 days later, solar set a new record, generating loads of instantaneous power, but looks like it wasn't enough. You know that we are friends with Michael Schellenberger, one of the Twitter Files journalists, a brilliant reporter and broadcaster. Let me know what you think about him in the comments and chat. He had this to say. This is some excellent analysis on how this situation has been brought about. But I want you to let me know whether you think Event 2030 is what we should really be concerned about. What will be the new gambit? Will it be a war? Will it be a disease? What will be the new crisis that demands obedience? Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. This is what Michael Schellenberger has to say. Renewables don't risk blackouts, said the media, but they did, and they do. The physics are simple, and now the blackouts in Spain strand people in elevators, traffic jams, ground flights. Look, in a way, I don't think it's over-reliance on renewables. I think it's over-reliance on culture in general. I think we've been turned into servile little serfs once more. But none of this should have been surprised. The underlying physics has been understood for years. The specific vulnerabilities have been spelled out repeatedly in technical warnings that policymakers ignored. For over a century, electricity grids were built around heavy spinning machines like coal plants, gas turbines, nuclear reactors. These machines spun massive metal shafts. Good to learn this stuff, isn't it? At thousands of revolutions per minute. Oh, you better believe we need a revolution. We need a revolution right now. Creating electricity while also providing inertia, which smoothed out shocks to the grid and gave operators time to respond to faults. It was free and automatic. Michael Schellenberger there, giving us an education in engineering. The rise of solar and wind changed that. Solar panels do not spin heavy turbines. Wind turbines, while they do spin, are usually electronically decoupled from the grid and do not provide direct mechanical inertia. Both rely on inverters, electronics that convert direct current, DC, from the source into alternating current, AC, DC, I get it, for the grid. Inverters are fast, efficient and precise, but they have no mass, no stored momentum, and therefore no ability to stabilize the system when it wobbles. Inverters follow the grid's frequency, but they do not resist changes. As countries replaced heavy spinning plants with lightweight inverter-based generation, the grid became faster, lighter and more sensitive to disruptions. That basic physical reality was spelled out in public warnings as far back as 2017. In 2017, ENTSO-E, the European Network of Transmission System Operators, better than the other acronyms they're using, like Satan and Evil and Pedo and Up the Bum and stuff that usually these European and international bodies lean into when coming up for an acronym, warned that rising levels of inverter-based generation would cause frequency deviations to grow larger and faster after disturbances, eventually concluding that the risk of cascading failures across Europe would increase unless governments invested heavily in synthetic inertia, large-scale storage and smart real-time grid management. What could be behind all this? We're officially in the rolling electricity blackout phase of Agenda 2030. Of course, Spain would be where it begins, since they literally have Agenda 23 plastered over their trains. I took this in 2023 and was in utter shock. Do you guys remember seeing that? Let me know if you can find pictures of Bill Gates wearing that little emblem. George Soros wearing that little emblem. Event 2030. It's the event to pay attention to because it's the next phase in globalization and imperialism. And whatever your fears might be about nationalism, nativism, populism, I'm telling you now, when the globalists come, you will need these nationalists. No one's going to save you except for the living Son of the ever-present, eternal, truly omniscient and omnipotent God that the imperialists and globalists are trying to replace. Allow him into your heart. Now, Jesus Christ, just in case you had any doubt about who I was talking about there. But if that's not your jam, if that's not your bag, you best find new alliances with people that have enough resources to resist this all-powerful, insidious, all-overcoming, deliberately rapacious, foaming at the gash, bleeding at the fang, demonic system. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.